Hey folks, welcome to the Släck Game 9, an Iron Horse playthrough. Today we're up against Nurgle at TV 100, I think. Um, so let's have a quick look. They have they have a Beast of Nurgle. They have 4 Chaos Nurgle Warriors, 2 Pestigors, and the rest are Rotters. They have 2 Rotter substitutes, and with their inducements, they got a Rotter with Dirty Player. So you can get like base players and level them up for inducements. So he is block on one of his Rotters. So yeah, we're setting up in a fairly conservative manner. Nurgle want to it's his offense. So what Nurgle want to do is get the ball and then very slowly push all the way down the pitch because they are incredibly boring bastards, and they can't do anything interesting whatsoever except for slowly hit you, and then their whole strength comes on their defense. So they kind of just want to grind out 1-0 wins. So in order to do that, we just kind of base very safely. It's clever positioning by him because the reason you put 3 guys over here is if you get perfect defense, you can swap your line to the other side so they don't get the blocks in. Okay, so straight up he gets a rock thrown at his Nurgle Warrior. And then a really nice kick here. That's really, really nice for me because if he fails to pick it up, then I have a big chance of getting in. So he gets 3 blocks, obviously. So it's a loner, it's striker, and it's Cole. So on the first hit, striker gets KO'd. That is not good. The Beast of Nurgle also has Mighty Blow, so this thing is very dangerous. Case in point, Cole gets injured. Alright, so that's disastrous for us. We haven't even played yet, and we're 2 men down. And he manages to pick the ball up. In comes the blitz on Captain Bassoon, but he just gets a push. So he's going to cage up on the side and then slowly push down, we imagine. Okay, so we stand up our loner because we don't really mind him getting injured, and since the loner has block, you never know, we might get a lucky turnover. We move Yannick up here in order to, number one, base this player so we can get a 2-die here if we want one on the Ulfwerner, and also to kind of provide a blocker here to maybe try and stop this group from moving over. And this is why we have Jaffa here as well, and Andra providing a bit of pressure to the backline. So we move everyone up, and then here comes the blitz. And we get a knockdown. And then we move into base the cage. I think this is a mistake by me, because he could get a surf here if he wanted to. He'd mess up his cage, but he gets a 2-die blitz here, pushes here. He gets a 2-die block here, pushes here, and then he gets a 2-die block out. But it would mess up his cage. But I think that was a mistake by me putting Dynamic Sporadic here. So this is what I mean about this loner. Stood him up, and he's just taken 2 pieces out of that turn, and he's fine. So that's great. So yeah, I think he misses it. So instead, he moves an assist in here and makes a block here, and he gets a knockdown. So his cage is now free, but he will have to try and reform it. Blitz comes in on Captain Bassoon. And it's another injury. And that is probably a dead Captain Bassoon, losing 1 movement allowance. So it moves him down to 5. We didn't really care about our lineman anyway, so that is most likely going to be a sack. He dodges out with his Rotter and fails. He needs to close up his cage, so that's why he makes that dodge. It's a 3+ dodge, so he rerolls and makes it again. But that's good for me. He only has 1 reroll left in this turn, or in this half, and then forms up his cage. So the first thing we do is provide kind of like stop, kind of like a block. I did this wrong. I should have put 2 spaces in between them instead of 1. So Nat should be standing here. So we make the blocks with Yannick. Yannick needs 1 SPP to level up, so I'm going to be trying to make as many blocks with Yannick as I can. Then we make a hit with Jaffa. Okay, so in comes the blitz. It's a 1 die on the Pestigore. I don't want to push it, because if I push it, I go 2 die uphill, and I re-roll into a skull. So I did say that I was going to play this half cautiously, but we're 3 players down now. Sorry, we're 3 players down, yeah. 2 injuries and a KO. So we're at a massive disadvantage. So if we just kind of like slowly keep backing away, they're always going to find gaps, because they are... they have a massive number advantage now, and then they get a blitz every turn, so they could potentially make that gap even further. So the plan is now to try and base the cage as much as I can, and try and force him into messing up a roll. So really stupid rolls on the Beast of Nurgle. It's quite nice. But the blitz does come in on Nat, and it's successful. Breaks armor, but just a stun. Dodges away with his Rodder. Okay, so yeah, moving Cindy down here again to provide a safety to stop him moving forward. So just in case any mistakes happen, I have at least that. Make another block with Yannick to try and get an armor break. Get SVP, no luck. Move in with Andra. So the base is here, so it gives me a 2 die block here into a 2 die. I didn't need the first base for a 2 die, because Daniel Braddock is strength 4. But if I got a push, I would need the support there to make a 2 die into 2 die. Then I use a 2 die on Jaffa. And it's about down, and Jaffa gets injured. Alright, so this is a fucking disaster of a half. 4 players gone, 3 injuries. This is like, I know I'm armor value 7, but this is kind of crazy. So now I'm in big trouble. This is exactly what Nurgle wants. They can't do much if you have 11 players on the pitch, because they're like, their players don't really do that much. They're very slow, or very like immobile. But once they start getting players up, then they get very, very dominant. So my opponent here does something extremely risky. He sets up his cage here, and the idea is he's going to blitz here. It's a 1 die, and I have block. But he gets away with it. And he pushes away, and he manages to steal the cage up again. So that was like... yeah, I need a little bit of luck here. And it's not asking for much if he's trying to do a 1 die. But yeah, so he uses his Dirty Player on Nat, so this gets a bit scary. But Nat just gets a stun. Okay, so the Pestigore is my next target now. It's going to be a 2 die into a 1 die. I can't force 2 die into 2 die, unfortunately, but that's okay. And Peter manages to injure a Pestigore, so that's a huge injury for me. The guy only has 2 Pestigores, and Pestigores are like the ball carriers of the Nurgle team. So injuring 1 is great. Tried to make another block by Yannick, but Yannick rolls a 1. Dodge out with Andra. So Andra now is going to be needed to provide an assist here in maybe the next turn. Tried to dodge out my loner, but Tentacles grabs him. So again, basing the cage, I'm hoping that he rolls badly here. He doesn't. He rolls a POW. Knocks Peter away. So he can score here, but he decides not to. He wants to cage up. So this is very Nurgle. You don't want to score and give your opponent a chance to retaliate. You want to grind out a 1-0 on your half. And so he'll be looking to score in his turn 8 if he can. Makes the block with the Beast of Nurgle. Armor break, but just a stun this time. Dodges out with the Rodder. Bases, so he's going for another 1 die block here. This time rolls a skull. doesn't decide to re-roll it. I think that's a smart decision. And he gets stunned for his trouble. The dodge is the important thing here, though, because it moves him away from the Yeti. Okay, so again, targeting the weakest corner, which this time is the Rodder, and go in for the Blitz. Get an armor break. Would have been really nice to injure that guy because he's dirty players, and dirty players are very scary. And then I double base the cage here. Dynamic Sporadic also needs an injury to level up, so it would be nice if he got one. Yannick decides he wants to play and moves down. And I get a 2 die here. I'm kind of at this point thinking, like, if I was really, really trying to stop the play, I probably would have dodged out with Andra and moved down here. But I'm kind of thinking now that he's most likely going to score in his half. So maybe I could get some injuries here, get some SPP. So the Beast of Nurgle moves in. So he's tying up all my players now with these moves. So again, no dice with the... I'm looking for him to roll both downs or something like that. He did not. Rolled another POW. And again here, and he rolls a push. So he's able to push Peter away. And again, he can score if he wants to. But he decides not to. So this is by far the riskiest move he's made all game, because he's now allowed me to take a pop at the ball carrier. And so in order to do so, I need to first free up Nat. So I dodge out with Andra, and I also base with the Loner, and Peter gets a Mighty Blow hit on the Beast of Nurgle. Hits him. Unfortunately, no armor break. I mean, he's armor value 9, you don't really expect one. So then, before I use the Blitz with Nat, I again go for blocks here, because any injury here will level them up. Yannick again. Yannick is hitting armor value 7. No, don't forget, he has Claw. Okay, so Nat makes a dodge. Nat makes the going for it, and goes for the block. The first going for it fails, I re-roll it, go for the second G, and he fails again. So that's double ones there. So no block for me. So turn 7 for my opponent. I'm thinking he'll probably score now. Maybe make some blocks first. So he goes for Andra. Makes a block on Andra, breaks armor, but no injury, thank God. And then shores up the ball here. So again, pretty unlikely that I'm going to be able to do anything here. Goes in for the foul on Cinny. I'm really hoping at this point, maybe get a sending off. This is his second foul, I think. No sending off. Just stuns Cinny though. So we're still kicking. Okay, so before I try anything here, again, I'm trying my 2 dice blocks to try and find an injury. Get a knockdown. Break armor. But unfortunately no injuries, just a stun. Yannick is next. Yannick goes for it again. And again, doesn't break armor on an armor value 7. Yeah. Okay, so dodge out. It's a 3+ dodge on a Loner. Reroll it. Fail the Loner. So again, double ones. So that's the second turnover in a row where I roll double ones. So not great, not great. And this is his turn 8. So I'm thinking, will he make some blocks or will he just score? So it looks like he wants to make a block. Indeed he does. And he makes a 3 die block. So like, you're pretty safe. And it's with a Chaos Warrior who's block. Makes the block, breaks armor, but no casualty. And then runs in to score. Okay, so yeah, so that half was abysmal. 3 injuries and a KO. The one chance I did get to take a pop at the ball carrier, I rolled double ones. So yeah, that half felt very, very difficult. We do get our KO back though. That's Striker, so that's good at least. We're down to 8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So he sets up for the one-turner. But I'm not going to go for the one-turner. I'm going to try and level my guys up. So I'm going to make sure that Yannick gets a hit, and I'm going to make sure that Dynamic Sporadic gets a hit. Peter is also on 12 out of 16, so I'm going to try and get a hit from him. I also set up my 2 Agility 4 players for just a 1 SCP that I want to get on Andra. Okay, ball comes in. And it's a high kick, so I move Andra underneath it. So it's just going to be a 3, I think, to catch it. Yeah, catch 3, and he makes a catch. Okay, so looking for some injuries here to get leveled up. Do break armor this time, but it's just a KO. Move the player up here just to make sure that I don't go 2 die into 1 die. So Peter with the hit, Mighty Blow, doesn't break armor. And then I do the same here with Striker to make sure it goes 3 die into 3 die. Get the hit. And I don't break armor again. So pass made, so that's 1 SVP for Andra. Okay, so that's the end of this turn. So, yeah, obviously not a good half at all. The plan for the second half is to try and score actually as quickly as I can, because I'm going to probably lose more people at this point. I'm all armor value 7. I now can't fight back at all, really, because I have less players than he does and way less strength than he does. So he's probably going to hurt more of my players. Yeah, this went black for a while in the game as well. It comes back in a sec. So yeah, the idea is to try and score as quickly as I can and then try and defend his drive really conservatively in a way that I didn't do in the first half, and try and get the 1-1. Okay. So he sets his team up in a smart way. It's basically to try and trap me into frenzies. So if I frenzy up, it's very difficult to get a 2 dice again. So I need to be careful about that. Ball comes in, I get a quick snap. So the plan is make the block 2 die, 2 die, and then that allows a 2 die into 2 die. So Striker makes the hit. Just a knockdown. 2 die here. And if I push here, I get a 2 die again. Unfortunately, it's just 2 pushes. And then I get a 2 die here. So, I want Yannick then to blitz in here, because I really, really need to try and hurt them. They roll a 1 for failed appearance. I try to re-roll it. I think I shouldn't have re-rolled it. It's a loner. You shouldn't really re-roll that. But at this point, I was getting salty, and then that didn't help. So I rolled a 1 on the pickup. So roll a 1 for failed appearance and 1 on the pickup. Yeah. The second half doesn't start the way I was hoping it would. Block on Dynamic Sporadic, breaks armor, but just a stun. So he engineers a 2 die on Yannick, gets a pout. Yannick stays alive. And he moves in his beast circle to tie up 2 of my players. Blitz comes in on Andra. Gets a knockdown. At this point I'm thinking, can you just roll double fucking boat downs once in the game? It's like frankly ridiculous that like my blocks don't seem to count at all. So he blitzes Andra and he moves in to pressure the ball. I do kind of think though that this has given me some kind of gap here to move Andra up. Yannick Wild Animals. I do get the jump up to work and I run up here. So that's given Andra maybe as an out. The problem with I move in with the Mighty Blow. So the idea is free up our loner here to base the Nurgle warrior. Pick up the ball here, and I roll a 1. So I re-roll that, and I eventually pick the ball up. So now I can try and get Andrew free. So this was a Dauntless, and I rolled a 1 on the Dauntless. Luckily, I didn't get punished for it, though. Then I tried to dodge out. I think it's a 3+ dodge. And I rolled a 2 on the dodge. So yeah, the plan is try and base this warrior and then move Andra out of the stink, and then try and move up and pass over this team and just run in and score. I'm like, it's a desperate plan, but like, you know, what else can I do here? I can't. It's not like I can cage up and slowly push the Nurgle warriors away. The reason it's even more of a desperate plan is because this stink adds this kind of blue glow you see here. It adds modifiers onto my catching and my throwing, and I think my picking up. So 2 down Peter here. So even these 2 players are agility 4. It's going to make the. See, this is weird. I think he missed this. I think he rolled a push and a boat down, and he picked the boat down for some reason. I mean, this just shows how little he rolled boat down in this game, that he thought he had block or something like that. I'm not really sure. So I move Yannick up, roll foul appearance on the Dauntless attempt, and roll foul appearance on the Blitz. So yeah, the plan there was to try and free Andra up. So now the plan is to try and free Peter up. So run across. This is a 4+ into like a 5+ catch or something like that. But I just wanted to get the ball up here. Actually didn't roll the pass either time, so didn't even get a chance to get the 5+. But the idea is just get the ball up here. We've kind of moved a lot of him to the right, so if the ball is up here, then maybe we can get a pick up and run. So more blocks on my guys, more pows on my guys. Yannick, though, staying alive. Gets a push, finally. Okay, so the Blitz is going to come in on Peter. And he gets a knockdown. Armor break. Well, Peter's okay, just a stun. But at this point, my plan is shot to shit. Like, he's successfully moved over. He's based the ball. So any hope of him trying to stop him moving to the left and maybe pick the ball up in the next turn has gone. And he goes in with the foul on Andra. So this is, again, very, very scary. Third foul. Doesn't do anything. But again, doesn't get sent off. I mean, I think he has a bribe, I think, anyway, right? Yeah, he has a bribe. So even if he did get sent off, it wouldn't matter. Okay, first things first, I make the block with Dynamic Sporadic, because any plan that I have to try and do anything with the ball is so far-fetched that I may as well try and get the level up. So again, nothing going. So yeah, the plan is a 1-die blitz up here and push him onto the ball. Unfortunately, I get a boat down, so that doesn't happen. So then I decide to just base the ball. So try to jump up here, rolled a 1, tried the Dauntless, rolled a 1. Then on the skull, Cindy gets injured. So just to show you my rolls here. So yeah, jump up, roll a 1, Dauntless, roll a 1. And then got an injury on the skull. At this point, I'm just like so happy he rolled a push. It's fuck, like, what the fuck. So yeah, he gets 2 bases on the ball. Goes to pick it up with his rodder. It's a 4+ pickup, which he fails. 4+ pickup again, which he fails, and the ball scatters down. I'm kind of glad he did that before he actually made the block with his Beast of Nurgle. Jump up succeeds this time. the idea is to free up the loner, and I managed to do that. So then the loner comes down to base this Chaos Warrior, so I get a 1 die here. So the idea is push him down here and push him onto the ball and hopefully have the ball scatter up. That doesn't work, the ball scatters down. And then I managed to KO him, so on the 1 die. So then go for the 1 die again, and this works out. So get the push, or sorry, get the surrender stumbles. And then I get to pick the ball up. Managed to do that. And then I run to safety. I needed 1 GFI to run to safety. Did manage to get it. Rolled a 1. Another injury. This time it's a loner, so I don't really care. And he pushes Peter to the sideline, so this is quite dangerous. He rolls a really stupid, so no block here on striker, so that's something. And then he finally rolls a double boat down. So he is down to 0 rerolls. However, it does get an armor break on striker. Then runs his Pesticore down, so this is to pressure the ball, and runs his Chaos Warrior down. Rolls 1 GFI, gets it. Rolls another GFI, gets it. Okay, so before I do anything here, again, try and level these guys up. Armor break, and a KO. So no injury, unfortunately. Yannick, and I rolled a 1 on failed appearance. So, dodge. Dodge day fine, rolled a 1 on the pickup. So, yeah. A lot of 1s. So he now goes down to try and secure the ball. And then tries to surf Peter, manages to do so. And injures Peter. So for this one, I have to Apo it because it's a niggle. I do Apo it, and I managed to turn it into a miss next game. Not perfect, but at least it's not a dead Peter. Then he goes for the blitz on Nat. Gets the knockdown. And kills Nat. So that's my agility 4 lineman dead. This is my bench. Yeah. So I don't know, like, what do you say about this game? We have 2 dead players. So with Nat's dead and Captain Bassoon is dead. It's a miss next on a Peter. We run Andra away to try and stop him dying, and we roll a 1 on the dodge because that's all we roll now, apparently. He goes for the pickup, messes it up, and then rolls a 6 on the catch for his Chaos Warrior. So it actually worked out better for him. He gets now this. Sorry, rolls a 5 on the catch. Yannick tries to boat down to try and get an injury. Again, rolling against armor value 7. Does nothing again. Most peaceful Yeti in the world, and then he runs in for a score. So yeah, this was an absolute disaster of a game. You can probably still hear it in my voice casting it. Like, I just played it and now I'm casting it, and I'm still angry about it. Like, it's just one of those fucking games. Like, I'm sure there are things that I could have done better. But right now it just feels awful. So how bad is this in the long run? So we got a MVP on Andra, which is, I don't know, is it good or not? I don't know. I would have rather an MVP on someone like Yannick or Dennis Braddock, although for the amount of armor breaks or injuries they got in this game, they fucking don't deserve an MVP. I think Yannick must have made like 6 or 7 knockdowns, all on armor value 7. I don't like, yeah. So if we look at the dice, pretty even for them. Look at me. Very even for me on here, but you roll your own casualties in Blood Bowl, and I reckon a lot of these dice are casualties. Um, so yeah, 33%. Our armor was 45%. Injury is 65%. So this, yeah, that was just terrible. So let's have a look at our team. We were 1,000. What were we? 1,300. We're now 1,000. But we did roll decent winnings, so we get to buy 2 linemen. So Captain Bassoon, you're gone. Cinny, you're okay. Peter, you're okay. So welcome to the team. Henso. What's Henso look like? That looks like Henso. And who else is on my list? Welcome to the team. It's me. Yeah. Okay, so we have, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have a full 11 again, but we're missing 2 players next game. So that's not great, obviously. Yeah, like I don't know what else to say about that game. That was just, I mean, you probably have heard me say in the Slack that this, this does happen with Norse. Sometimes your arm value 7 does arm value 7 things. But even like Jesus, the amount of ones we got in that game with fail appearance and pickups and all that kind of and dodges and shit. And obviously losing that, like just rolling agility 4 and then having him die the very next game is, and like just after I used the Apo. Yeah, that really stung. But that's Blood Bowl, baby. Yeah, and we kind of pick it up. Yeah, we have the nice thing about Norse is your linemen are cheap and they're very very good starting with block. And we don't mind about losing Bassoon at all. He just has a dirty player, that's fine. But yeah, not stung. But who knows? We might level some of these guys up and they might roll guard or they might roll strength, So yeah, that's until next time. So thanks for watching, guys. See you there.